Welcome to another video. It is Monday the 17th of March 2025. We're just approaching 12 p.m. UK time now. So I'm going to go through last week and then predictions potentially for this week. It's been quite an interesting finish of last week. And we can talk about where we were in terms of prices, what was predicted, what happened, what didn't happen, and then what could potentially happen over the next week or month. So here we are with GBP USD. So we closed here, which is around the 129.35, 129.40 area. Yeah, when we did the video on Friday, we were around this area here. Now, I set these zones up as potential sell zones, and the move I said happened. If you want to look in the last video, I did take this trade. However, I got a bit greedy and I put my stop loss too low. So what I did was I left the trade overnight, Friday, and it took me out. But I'll let you be the judge of this because it's ridiculous. That is it. I put the trade here. I actually put my stop loss. It will have been, I put it at 129, which was a bit daft, but yeah, so as you can see here, I entered this trade and that is what happened. This is on Alpha Capital. Now, if you've used Alpha Capital before, you'll probably know that you do get slipped quite badly. So I have messaged them about this because we opened here and this is where we closed out. So it should, as you know, I'm in Thailand, so it should have. And I woke up in time to close this out because I was worried if it did open here again, I was just going to close the trade, but it opened here, but I'd already been closed. So there we go. Bit annoying, well, very annoying, but we'll see what happens with that. But last week we finished on 2% for the week. As you can see here, we finished on 2%. We were down to about 47.5 at the most, and then I got it up. Highest was for 1400, and I think we finished on around 1000. So pretty much a break even now. But anyway, let's talk about this week. So here we've got this main level, which we marked out last week. We've got all these other current levels. We created all these new lows, but we've had a really big push again. It's where we've seen some bullish momentum, which is really from London session. As we've hit this previous resistance point here, we are getting this red candle, which is coming up to be the 12 o'clock candle. Now, as you can see, we are bullish, but we are not really looking at anything different that we've already seen. So what we're going to be looking for is to see how far this continues to go. If it does, as you know, I've marked out the 130 level as the next potential resistance. Are we going to use this as the new support level, which could potentially happen if we are going to be bullish? Or is this going to be the support, or is this going to be resistance? So these are still pretty key levels. I'm going to remove this because that is quite far off now, and I'm also going to remove this because I feel like this is our zone. This 12940 area has been a very kind of pinnacle level for since the 7th of March really, where it's become resistance and then support, and then resistance and then support. So it's potential that could happen again. That's what we're going to be looking for to see what's going to happen here, and then also we're going to look to see what's going to happen here. So 1297, 1294 and 1292 are still all the key areas on here. I'm not going to predict any price action yet because Monday is usually a good gauge of what could happen. Also, the news today, we've got some red folder news at 12:30. See what kind of difference that makes. But yeah, I forgot to say as well, when I did enter this short trade, it was 2 o'clock, which is the usual time I trade, and that was the main movement of that day. But unfortunately, I got a little bit greedy because I thought for some reason we were going to go down to here where previous resistance had been, because this level I thought was too close. This level here, there's so much that needs to be covered. So I just thought it would just slowly, progressively go down. I didn't expect this to go there and then go right back up over the course of the evening. So that's my bad, and I paid for it. Next, Euro USD. So as you can see here, we've not done too much. This was Friday. Very strange kind of price action really. We had 12.1 and then we've just consolidated all of this. But as you can see here, the 108.7 area has held pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this and tighten the area up a little bit to this area here, which is a 129.200 as the kind of the top. Keep this area here, and obviously this area is the low. So what we're looking for is, if we're going to keep finding this as resistance, are we going to find this as support, or are we going to sweep this and go down? We'll find out today. So we're going to keep the zone pretty simple, very easy to read. Again, I'm just going to move all these to yellow for now because we're not got a obvious action of price. So here we are. This is quite interesting because on Friday we were bearish really on these two, and this is a opposite dollar pair. However, Friday on this was completely bullish. Now this was the level which I marked out at 63.3 as the high to potentially use as support. What we're going to be looking for now, we'll get rid of this because that is not as relevant now. We'll get rid of this because that's also not as relevant. We'll keep this just as a reference, but what we're really looking for now is this zone here. We've got the 63.6 and 63.3. This is now just to determine where we potentially could go next, because this is clearly the high. We've not hit it yet, and the last time we did was 6th of March. So are we going to look and use this as resistance and go back down again? Or are we going to sweep it and use it as resistance, or are we going to use this as support again to go back up? So we are looking bullish as of now, but we need a confirmation of these two areas first before we can decide the direction. In an ideal scenario, we would like something like this, where we could maybe just hit them highs again, put this just under those lows there, and go for a long position. That's the ideal scenario in my opinion. So we'll leave that there. So we've got 63.3 and 63.6 as the deciding zones currently on this. NZD, now as you can see on here, all these zones were predicted for longs, which did happen. Again, this happened Friday at, sorry, what am I talking about? This happened Friday the 14th, and this happened Thursday the 13th. Same again with this really compared to AUD. We need to see what's going to happen next. This is kind of the next resistance zone, I would say, here, which we can mark out. I'd probably call it 58. And this is the support zone. So what we'll be looking at maybe is something similar to this again. Targeting these highs. But yeah, we've got 58 as the next point of resistance for a high. Potential support 57.8. And then also next bit is 57.6. Now what we're looking for is we're going to sweep, retest and come down, or sweep, come down, back up. But we need to just see what happens on these zones. So we've got 58, 57.8 and 57.6 right now. If we break a lot under here, we've still got this area which is still valid. This can be get rid of now because it's not really as valid. These are the most main ones, and this is the lower of the zone, which I'll get rid of here. Alright, as you can see again, what did I mark out? Look in the last video, the 29.8 area. I said it at this high when we did the video on Friday. I said the next bit of support is going to be at the 29.8, and what happened? 3 o'clock, exactly what I said, support here. Now, with this resistance area here, at the 305 is the highest it's ever been. It's a gold all-time high. What we want to see now is, as we've previously discussed, gold does this a lot when it's deciding where to go. As you can see, Now what have we got here? The exact same thing. So what we need to see next is ideally a sweep, retest and down, or a sweep, breakthrough, retest and up. That is the bullish scenarios for now. I would not be comfortable in buying above here yet, because it can be a trap to go down. I also wouldn't be comfortable selling because again that could be a trap to go down. Right now I'd only be buying from this area here or potentially this area here, 2992. So we're going to mark these up. There we go. And to see how we react off these zones. The reason I picked this zone is because of this. We've also got a 1 hour fair value gap, but as you know, I don't normally trade fair value gaps, I more look at the key level areas. However, because there has been a big push and there happens to be a key area in the middle of that fair value gap, that kind of gives a potential. We could put this here, for example, and then go for these highs, 2.7 to 1. Or if we take all these lows out again, there will definitely be a lot of buys under here because this, we can look at that, but we need the retest. Or a secondary option would be shorts, because there's a potential that what could happen is we have a slight bit of a reset, we want to come down, we've got all of this to go for, and it might come back to here. So this is what we'll be looking at for gold over this week. This is not today, this is over the course of the week. Same with a lot of these, this is over the course of the week. What's going to happen? Okay, it's not just today. It could happen today, but it could happen in a few days, tomorrow, whenever. So this is what we're looking at on this. Right, next move on to USD CHF. So as you can see, these are the areas which I looked at. We've got this short, 2 o'clock, which happened. Here, here. All these zones are valid. I'm going to remove this now. Also going to remove this and this. But as you can see, these are all key zones. I had this marked out. I think it would have been, it wouldn't have been at that time because I would have been asleep. When would that have been? Not sure, you know. I'm not sure when I would have marked that. Maybe I would have marked it on the Friday potentially. I'll have to look at the video. But again, this is our zone. Same thing again. So we could be looking, depending on how we go this week, for longs again from here. Target this area here for 30 pips. We could be targeting shorts from here, and if we break under here, we could have another short positions. I would only be comfortable going for shorts from here because here you've got this area which you could react from again. So you're kind of putting yourself in a position where it's not, the confirmations aren't always there. The reason this is because we haven't touched this area for about a week. So if we are shorting from here, it's partly likely that it's just going to keep going. So that's the areas here. So we've got 88.4. I'm going to put this high here, which we did reach, which was at 88.6. I wouldn't be trading off that zone, but I'll be trading to it as a target. And we've got shorts only from here. Might take a couple of days. Otherwise, we're looking at longs from here. I just realised that I said short from there, but I was actually referring to last week. Sorry about that. This is what I'll be looking for, and then potential longs from here. So long, long, potential shorts. So this is 88 dead. This is 87.5. Got potential buys from 88, potential buys from 88.2, targeting previous highs. Now you don't have to go for this full range. If you trade it from here, you can go from here. If you go for here, I would go for the full range, or whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as it's a 2 to 1. USD CAD. So here were my predictions from last week. This is the one that did hit, and it happened at 12 o'clock Friday, 2 p.m. and then we're down here again. So I can get rid of all these. Now I've said it quite a few times now. For me, I find it easy to call out trades, but the thing is, it's not easy to call out when to trade, you know. But that's why I have a specific time which I trade between 2 and 4 o'clock, because if it doesn't hit that zone in that time, you don't have to trade it. You're not chasing trades, you're not making wrong decisions, you're not thinking, right, oh, it's hit at 12 o'clock, I'll hit it, and then it goes dum bam back to here, and then at 2 o'clock it ends up going down. If you know you're sticking to your trading rules, first of all, you don't have to be glued to the charts all day. You can do your markups in the morning, wait, set your alerts, and then enter the market at 1:45, as in sit in front of the laptop or whatever, computer, and just watch, and then you know when to enter. If it's not around your zones, you can just like mark it off, right, that one's not going to hit, that one's not going to hit, right, that one looks like it could be valid, and just go down like that. And that's why it's easier trading all these when you do it like that, because you're just focusing in one time zone, two, 3 candles, hourly candles, and that's it. Simple. So that's what I'd recommend. So here we've got quite an interesting thing with the USD card. The zone that's jumping out to me for a potential target is here, 1432. Reason being this and this and this, and then this is where we had this bullish move. So we've got this area here as well, excuse me, for potential moves. So potential shorts from here down to this zone here. Ignore the stop loss, but you know what to do, 2 to 1s, and then here. This is based on the current market. I wouldn't be looking for buys yet, but when we are, I'll tell you, and it will potentially be from here. But in order to do that, we'd have to get like a pretty big sweep and push. That might take a couple of days. So these are the zones we're looking at. So we've got 1438 to 1432, 60 pips, and then we've got this area 1436. Oh no, sorry, sorry, it's this one. My bad. 1436 down to there. It's a smaller range, but it doesn't matter because you'd be doing the same risk, 2 to 1, targeting this area here. Right, there we are. So this was happened on Thursday. This trade here, this trade here. Can't really count that, but the move was there. And then this here, boom. So everything I'm putting in is valid based on the key levels. This is why it's really important. Watch my videos and you learn how to do it. Simple as that. Key level. This is because of the price, whole number. Price always returns to whole numbers, because if you think about it this way, if you are a corporation, a large hedge fund, trading team, whatever, you are gonna look to trade off whole numbers. That is how it is done. Whole numbers. Always focus on whole numbers, and that's why fair value gaps, I don't always tend to use them unless they're in the whole number, because you're not going to see, that is not how institutions trade. Now you don't want to trade against these banks or institutions, you want to trade with them. You want to jump on the back of their trend and just get a little bit from it. You're not trading against them. That's not what you're doing. But for example, there's a fair value gap here, but in the middle of it, I'll just move this down, at the bottom of it, 148. Now, I don't know if that's going to definitely make a reaction, but when you look at it, it would make sense, wouldn't it? Because you've got this big impulsive move on the hourly candle. We've got reaction from it here as a rejection. It's at a key level, so that is a potential place where it's going to react. So I'm not going to put any of these, sorry, excuse me. I'm not going to put anything like this on yet. I'm just going to mark out these levels, but we've got this 148 area here, 1475 and 149. We're going to be looking for reactions mainly off this 148 area. That's the key area for me right now. There potentially might be a reaction here off the 1482, but I'll just say 148 for now to see if we react back up or take it all out. Lastly, DXY. So we spoke about this level last week, the 1037, which is exactly what's happened. It's come up to there, at 7 a.m. and it's not really made much of a difference. Now this was the whole of London session. This is why it was quite choppy, I believe, on Euro. Look at this, almost identical. But again, we're reacting off these levels now. So 103.250 was quite a key level in my opinion last week. We're reacting off it all the time, where resistance became support, support. Now I think it's going to be resistance again, to be honest, which means if we go up, these are going to partially come down, but then it will go down again, which will push these up. That's what I'm thinking. So 103.1 to 103.250 is the key areas on this. But yes, this is the start of Monday, so it's just past 12 now. So whoever watches this video for the day, start marking up your levels for 2 p.m. today, 17th of March, and hopefully we can start to get some good trades in. If I do trade today, I'll show you what I've done. I don't always trade Mondays, but if there's an opportunity there, I will take it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll happily answer them. Thank you very much.